All right, I want to show the self-defense technique, circling wing. Wing is the Kenpo term for a bent elbow. It doesn't always mean elbow. It means a bent arm. And I'm going to circle that elbow up and around. This works for I'll actually do the start part facing the camera, for a two-hand choke from behind, and the arms are right on around her throat, yeah. So sometimes I see people do this and they're like giving a little massage. All right, so right around the throat, and not just in a rear choke, but the person's also shoving me forward. Right. So what I want to do, you guys, is basically put my hand on top of my head. It's very common also in Jiu-Jitsu to protect for, chokes and whatnot from behind, rear naked chokes. But as he shoves me forward, I'm just going to step and I'm going to have my base. So I'm going to go, if you let go for 1 second, Matt, I'm going to go base, pivot. So base, pivot, and strike. Okay, so I'll just do that opening part again. As he shoves me forward, I force him to take a step. And by forcing him to take a step, it means I can take his center line. I use fingers to the eyes or a heel palm, either or. But without the step, I won't get his center line. So watch that again. A little harder shove, Matt. So I step, there's the base, and I pivot right out of that, wham! And I hit them. Now if you notice, I'm on the outside of his arm. So initially, I was within his center line because my neck is between his two arms. So I'm within, then I go outside of the center line, and this technique, I get back into a center line. So as he shoves me forward, I do my base, my pivot, then I check it down, and I hit him with the elbow, and I go to a reverse bow or a high wide heel, and I hammer fist to the groin. I'm going to give you a different angle for that one. So I'm in a choke, and it's aggressively a choke. I've also seen variations where you pin, try to break the wrist. In my view, easier said than done, because you got caught in a rear choke that you didn't know was going to happen, and he's shoving forward aggressively. You have to react quick. I'm still going to pin, but my pin will be delayed until I drop that arm. So he grabs and he shoves me forward. I do my base, my pivot, boom. And watch this little additional strike. As I circle down with the elbow, I can also hit with my back knuckle. So a little more aggressively, Matt. Good. Look at this shot right here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Boom, straight. And then I shove this down, hit with the elbow, boom. And on the way out, I scoop the groin and cover. Okay, so circling wing. The other thing too, guys, is whenever you're in a rear choke, hold really tight, Matt. Really tight. Tighter, 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 tight as you can. I'm good. When I tuck my chin, it becomes very difficult for the person to choke me. But as he pulls and I do that step, there it is, boom, shot to the eyes. Now, because I'm on the outside, when I go back on the inside, I still have that left hand to worry about. In fact, yeah, boom, we could connect. So what you could play with on this technique is shove me pretty hard here. As I step and I make the strike, I'm just going to work around him and get behind him. Watch what I did. So I said, okay, I'm between. Now I'm on the outside. I'm just going to stay on the outside, get behind him, and oh, what do you know? There's backbreaker. I could start to apply that technique at that point. Okay? But to keep within the framework of circling wing, as he shoves, I step, I circle, I get up on top, boom, I make my strike, check that down, hit. And I like to go to a reverse high kneel. It's usually taught in a reverse bow, but if I do a reverse bow, watch how I'm hitting that this way and my body's going this way. But if I go to a high wide kneel, I'm still nice and positioned for my strikes, and I can hit him a little bit more effectively without going in opposite directions. That's circling wing.